That's the forecast. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon.
Oh, it's off again. Oh, Penelope.
I love it. Let's go again.
Oh, it's still playing in my ears. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lunchtime Lockdown. Penelope Tration, tell me how you are immediately.
A little bit overly exposed by the adjusting on my light I've just done. Dan, honest, I just find that I'm in a Friday funk most Fridays now.
Oh, how come?
I think just because I drink a lot at bingo on Thursday, which is not true. I drink a lot every day. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later. I'm okay.
Oh, I can't wait.
Isn't it funny? I was on the lounge approximately 42 minutes ago in my pajamas saying, should we call tech? Which, for those in the industry, is like pretend the internet's down and just not do the show. And Dan's like, no, it'll be fun once it starts. And it was. Well, it is.
It was. It always is fun. Do you know what? I'm literally doing this from my house, from my room. This is our 20th show, by the way.
Is that
true? Yeah, it is. And I've been late to every single one except for one. Like, how can you run late when you live in the same house?
I like to think that if running late was an Olympic sport, that I had gotten plenty of golds.
Me too.
I know, and when you then add the element of drag on top of it for my nighttime shows, that's like an extra, and if I'm early, then I just drink more. So it's got this show's just about drinking again, isn't it? If I'm early, I just drink more. Yeah, we do our early call-in and that's good. And then we just see, I don't know what happens between 9:30 and 12:30.
I know. Somehow those 3 hours vanish and I'm sitting here at midday going, I suppose I need to have a shower and a shave. And then I'm frantically running trying to get ready.
And
Speaking of trying to get... Oh,
I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Speaking of trying to get ready, have you been getting ready with that COVID app? Have you got it on your phone?
Look, I do have it. Initially, I was like, wow, do I want to download this? And I'm like, bitch, the amount of shit you've uploaded through Grindr and Scruff, like, I think you're safe with it. And, of course, we spoke to Holly, and she said that and she's a senator, so she's got to lie. But she said, well, actually, that's totally the wrong thing to say. She may have a different version of the truth. But I did download it, but I'm of the belief that at the moment it's still not reached the amount of downloads that we need. Hello, Michael John Prosser. I love you. I'm at the moment, there's not enough downloads. I think it is active, but there's not enough downloads for it to be effective. Is that correct? Or am I made that up?
I think so. I think they needed 10 million downloads. And I was, in that first week, they kept updating it and saying, oh, we've got 2 million, we've got 4 million, we've got 5 million. Then all of a sudden, there's no information on how many million have downloaded it because I think people have stopped.
Did you download it?
I did. I was really anti it just because hackers have hacked into basically every branch of government and government service. The ATO, Centrelink, the census didn't work. Going back to school videos didn't work. And I was like, I'm not getting on board with this stupid app. Then I did a bit of reading and I thought, I'll put it on my phone.
I'm still waiting for my census invitation from whenever the last census was, PS, because my house was new. But yeah, look, I don't know why I was so anti-downloading it initially, and I've got it, and every day it goes, don't forget to turn on your Bluetooth, and you go out, I'm like, I never turned it off, stop being aggressive.
I know, and you can't turn that off either, because when you turn it off, it says, no, the app's not working.
Well, I mean, Australia is doing well. Of course, what do we call it today? Freedom Friday.
Freedom Friday. All the pubs and clubs have reopened. Well, some.
Yeah, for 10 people.
Oh, wow. Are you going to go anywhere?
In short, yes. The lounge once this show finishes because I need a nap. I've been awake. Bingo was a burn last night, but it takes it out of me, that gig. And I think we had this discussion before. Ticketed events are just different to doing like a turn up and tip event. There's a degree
it's
of
like herding
ownership.
cats, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's a degree of ownership with a ticketed event, which I appreciate, and I love the support. I've got to watch what I say here. I love the support, but it's taxing. So now you tuned in and out of Bingo last night because you were watching a friend of mine, Katy Perry, on this Australian TV show.
Yes, friend of the show, Katy Perry. Well, friend of the show to be, should we say?
Well, I think rejected guest. Well, guest that rejected us.
Yeah, so I was my friend Kelly, who I went to uni with years ago. Kelly from the telly. We both did film and TV at uni, and she went into a career in film and TV. So she's a producer on the show, and I keep trying to pump her for information, and she knows I cannot keep a secret. I'm a big blabbermouth, so I never find out anything. Anyway, she kept the secret of Katy Perry, and Katy Perry was on there. She was great. It was like a breath of fresh air having a normal person who isn't analysing everything the way that the judges do. It was nice to have just a fun person on there who was like, oh, this tastes like a burrito. I love it. She was crazy.
Oh. So what was
really
she on there
good.
doing? Like she was a judge, or she was just on there like as a diner?
She was a judge, so she would hang out and kind of she interrupted them while they're doing things. She was teasing them a little bit. She'd sneak up behind one of them and go, 20 minutes. So while she's stirring and she's like, get away from me, Katy Perry. I know, it was just really cute.
I mean, in the beginning, when she first, I'm very good friends with her manager, which is why I thought we'd have her on the show. And here we are. How many shows later?
20.
It's still not been on. She was great. I used to have great fun. The first time I met her was she was doing a show at, what's that place at Fox Studios that was City Live, and it's been through a million changes.
Yeah, City Live, Stage 28, Max Watts, something else.
That's right. And she had a meet and greet, and she ate dodgy Chinese takeaway, and she got really sick and asked if I could do the meet and greet for her. And it's a true story.
I haven't heard this before.
Cheers. It's a true story. And and then after, so we had to say she can't do the meet and greet, she's sick. And then I was drunk, and every time she's met me, I'm drunk. I was sitting on the lounge holding her hand while she was vomiting into a bucket. That's my first Katy Perry story. And then each time she's come out, we've done something together, which is fun, which is why I thought she'd be on our show. Who else have we asked to be on the show, Dan, and they've gingerly declined?
Well, I asked Deborah Cox and didn't hear back. I asked Erica Jane and got a reply very quickly from her manager saying, no thank you.
Is her manager that dancey guy, or?
I don't know. So his name's James or John, I think. I'll have to have a look. But I don't know if he's part of the glam squad or separate. But it was a firm no.
Wow. Because she
What else
doesn't
have we
have for your
asked?
parties. Could you imagine her at your party? I would be like, I'd be backstage Betty.
Well, when I was doing I Remember House at Ivy, and she first appeared on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I emailed straight away, got in touch, and we had a few emails back and forth, and they were like, how much can you offer? And so I said, we can offer a fee, flights, accommodation, blah, 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 and then never heard back.
But it's not just her. I mean, that bitch doesn't travel light. Like, she's got hairdresser, makeup, dancers. And a friend of mine, Lockie, is one of her dancers. I tried to find out what foundation she uses because she always looks fucking amazing. And you got nothing. And also Magda Spansky. We did ask Magda.
I know. We tweeted. We went through agents and managers and got a polite decline.
And you know what? You don't have to come on the show.
What's wrong with us? Why doesn't anyone want to talk to us?
So we
Is it
said
our face?
No, not this week. I was going to do a full face of man makeup and just come on and not say anything. And you go, you wearing makeup? I go, no.
Yeah. Why do you ask?
Dan, so we both talked about downloading the COVID app, but you've actually had the test.
Yes. So the government keeps saying, even if you have the slightest symptom, go and get tested. So last weekend, so 2 weekends ago, when the rules relaxed and you were allowed to have 2 guests around to our house, I went to my friend's place, and it was when the cold snap happened. And we were outside having a cigarette, and I hadn't smoked for, I don't know, a month or so, but outside in the cold, smoking. Lo and behold, I ended up with a sore throat. And I still had it on Wednesday, and I thought, I'll go get checked. I went and had the test, and it's like they shove this thing so far down your throat and scrape the back of it. Not too bad.
Did you gag?
Put it a little bit. It was like...
You get whenever you go for like an STD check and they do like the swab of the throat and you don't gag, you're like, didn't gag it.
Yeah. Nail polish emoji.
Okay. But this is a longer swab, I think.
Oh, it's so long. Yeah, it's different to the STI test one. But then they put it up your nose and it goes so far up there and it's got something on it so you can kind of taste it while it's going up. It's like the worst bump of K you've ever had in your entire life. Not that we've had K.
No.
But it's right up to your eyeball and that's all you can feel for the rest of the day. Disgusting. Anyway, I was all clear.
On that, I mean, firstly, if you've got symptoms, you should get, or here we are giving our community announcements. If you've got symptoms, you should get tested. I once went through a really strange, I don't know what it's, but I could only smell cigarette smoke in my nose for like days on end, to the point that I had to go to the nosiologist. It's ear, throat, nose, that thing. But she's like, oh, we're going to put a camera up your nose. And then she pulled out this thing, and I said, look, I got back from Mexico about 6 weeks ago and I had a lot of nose camera in Mexico, so maybe don't put the camera. But it was like that, and it was like, it was like one of those like tissue tricks the comedians do, and I'm like a clown. Like it was so invasive. And then she's like, oh, you're coping really well. And I was like, do kids have this done? She's like, how the fuck do you tell a kid to suck this camera up, bitch? Like it was full on. I'm trying to work my...
Oh my God. What did they find?
Nothing.
Oh.
And it's funny, the day I had the test, I stopped smelling the tobacco.
Oh.
I'd be like, when I was on the aircraft, I'd be like, someone smoking? Can you smell that? I'm like, no. I was in my bedroom. It was weird. Hey, speaking of someone smoking, although you can't smoke at the cinema, I believe you found out something exciting about event cinema. Segue.
Oh, yeah. So let me see if I can bring this on screen. Bear with me while I try and get this up here. Oh, gosh. Come on. Here we go. So share screen. So what's happened is obviously all these places. No. I think this
So
is
intense.
have
Right
we got
now. I love
it?
it.
Have we got it? No, wrong one. Wrong one. Okay, I'll have one more try. If I can't get
you
it,
explain it's better.
okay, let's see if I can get it up there. Oh, is that it? I reckon this is it. Let's have a look.
Dan, you look so gay. I love it.
So, you know how all the stores are, places are trying to get rid of their old stock. And you know, if you go to a movie theatre and get popcorn and a drink, it'll cost you $150. This was brought to my attention by long-time fan of the show and friend of the show, Danger. Look at this. 2 packs of Maltesers, 2 chocolate bars, 4 drinks, 4 choc tops, 2 different sets of popcorns, $28. $28.
When was the popcorn made?
February.
It's going to be chewy.
I know. So I just find it absolutely astounding that they can sell it all off now at that price, but for $28 you'd be lucky to get a popcorn and a drink. That's my rant. That's my rant for the day. Get me on a current affair.
Oh, get on your box. No. I remember working in Val Morgan theatre sales when I just moved out of home, so I went once a week to work. I was sick the other days, and they said that because of like the movie, and you probably know this because you're smart. My nose is itchy. Because you probably, who's got smoky nostrils here? Is it me? Because they make so little on the movie. I think they're making like $1.50 or $2 per movie viewing, that they have to have the expensive shit in the candy store.
And that candy store, especially out at where is it, Bondi Junction, it's turned into a full buffet. You can get nachos, you can get hot dogs, anything you like, you can get in there now.
Speaking of nachos or hot dogs at a movie cinema, that is the first time I've ever gone sick down route when I was on a trip in Long Beach, and I had a hot dog at the movie cinema, and the hot dog was, when I started eating it, it was a little bit fizzy, and I thought I shouldn't finish this, but I was so hungry that I finished it, and I had to stay in Los Angeles for 4 days to recover from that food poisoning.
Oh my God, I'm going bright pink. I love that. That's almost as good as eating a dodgy sub before going partying.
Ooh, I'm the winner, bananas that. Dan, are you obsessed with the future of like people putting posts up saying this is the future of cruising, this is the future of airlines, this is the future of...
I love it when those articles, they start with, well, my guess is...
You fuck off.
Guess somewhere else. Don't make up stories. Yes.
There's a couple of gay ones.
Thoughts,
my favourite is the future of airline travel after COVID, and it's like they've got the middle seat on all aircraft reversed with a perspex like screen around it. And I'm like, how the fuck are they going to afford that? They can't fucking put the planes in the sky, yet we're going to be reversing this. No hand luggage. All of your luggage is going to go through a decontaminating mist. I'm like, bitch, it's never going to happen.
Oh my God. No, I haven't seen that. They're going to rejig all the seats on every single aircraft so that they can go, what, front, back, front?
Yes. And with a perspex screen around it, so you're like in your own little bubble.
Oh my God. People are idiots. People need to not have blogs.
They also reckon that the screen, so you'll order food off the screen and you'll also control your screen by voice. Can you imagine every fucker on the plane going, can I please watch Real Housewives?
I mean, it's bad enough that it's a touch screen on the back of somebody else's chair. How many times have you sat there while someone's going, in the back?
It's a complaint we get on board a lot. We're like, you could address that with the passenger themselves.
How do you deal with customer complaints when they're complaining about another customer?
Generally, it suggests that I've had a few. So specifically, specifically on flights across the Pacific, specifically on flights to America, American passengers do not cope with reclining of the chair. And Aussies, I mean, we used to like, basically, unless you go to Melbourne or Brisbane, like your flight's 3 to 4 hours. So you suck the shit up. I've had people aggressively like punching the chair in front and pushing. So generally what I do is upgrade the person in the chair that's being punched to business class and then go back and say, you've got no further troubles. That chair is free. She's now laying in a flatbed in business class and you can enjoy. So, yeah,
I love that.
Or a lot of the time, if it's like passengers will do dumb. Passengers are very creative. So say like it's an empty flight and they've got like a row of 3 seats themselves and someone comes and sits on the other and they're like, that was a spare seat. Like, well, actually you paid for 1 seat and if you'd like to leave, you just let them negotiate those sort of issues with themselves. But some are dicks.
It's so, sometimes I just feel so sorry for the staff because people are so rude and so entitled.
Not to me.
Not me. Not me.
Not to me. Not to me. I did have one with the introductions going for a while. I did have a woman come on once and she had upgraded herself to a premium cabin, not business class, and then got on and then came storming to the front because there was like a child sitting next to her. And I'm like, and then, so I rearranged the cabin. I do not get other crew to deal with it, Andrew and Mott, and I dealt with this myself. During boarding, I'm busy at the door, meeting and greeting and being, the face of the airline. And then this woman, so I rearranged her seat and then she came in, I'm talking like crying full hysteria because a child had sat in front of her. And the feedback I gave was, and I'm pretty proud of it, Madam, I do believe that at this stage you have an unrealistic expectation of commercial travel. And if you would like a private area for you to enjoy your flight in, may I suggest you travel Emirates first class in a privacy suite or perhaps a corporate jet?
What did she say to that?
Cried. And then went back into the cabin and asked to be moved again. And when I did it, then she accused me of moving her and making her look like a fool. I'm like, bitch, you did a really great job of looking like a fool yourself.
Oh my God. When grown women cry to get their own way. Actually, we can talk about that with Real Housewives because Kyle cries every single episode, but we'll get into that later with Perry.
All right. Well, hey, let's talk about what's going on online because we did, like, for the first 2 weeks, we did full shows, five days a show, 5 days a week, every week, which we loved. But by the end of it, we were like, this is a lot of hard work. So,
yeah, it was cool. I really loved it when we were locked inside our house and we had no other option. It gave me a reason to get up. I felt like I was going through that quarantine with you, like with someone with the same experience. And it was really fun. A reason to have a shower every day and get up before midday. But yeah, by the end of it, it's exhausting.
It's hard. To have a chat with her, I find like, I don't know, I think with semi-similar, I had a chat with Trevor. Actually, it's like every phone call is a performance. So like you're chatting, you're entertaining, and then doing a show was hard as well. So, we pulled back and then I went into doing little lunches, which then I got rid of, potentially to stop me from drinking as much. But so what's your online schedule now?
I do Lunchtime with you on Fridays and then RuPaul with Minnie, Lisa, Tony and Michael, 5 of us on Sunday. Just chit-chat shows.
Yeah. And you've done huge parties as well.
Yeah, and actually, if you're watching, I've uploaded I Remember House and Camp in their entirety because Facebook cutting them off on my YouTube. Yes, you are. So they're both on my YouTube channel. So they both go for 4 hours. If you want like a mix of music to listen to while you're cleaning or whatever, pop it on this weekend. Little self-plug.
I'll put it on tonight while I'm getting ready for my makeup at 7 o'clock and show at 8:30. Second self-plug. Speaking of self-plug, she plugs herself really well. Have we got a guest there?
We do. She's been waiting very patiently. She was supposed to come on about 10 minutes ago while we blah, blabbed. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome fashion icon Leasa Mann.
Oh, we're doing this today. Hi, guys.
I'm just sitting on my lounge.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm good. It's a Friday. It's my favourite day of the week. I love the energy. I'm here for it. And
Me and Dan are a bit chatty today, Lisa. Sorry.
I
Sorry
have
to keep
been
you waiting.
losing my mind. I've been in hysterics. When you started talking about having like the hot dog and nachos, and you were doing a segue, I'm like, if she's about to introduce me as a fucking hot dog and nachos, I will lose my mind.
I would not dare.
I would not do that.
But no, I was giggling the whole time. I loved it.
So, Lisa, we chatted initially. So, Dan and I were saying the same thing. You were doing 5 days a week as well, drinking weed. And how much does it take out of you?
Oh my God, it's exhausting. It really is, because I was finishing my shift at work, like my day job, and then literally just running and going straight into the live show. So
straight from the kitchen to the lounge room.
Oh God, the commute was a nightmare. Oh God, I didn't even tap on my Mikey. It's such a rush.
And were you late often?
No, I'm never late.
Oh, actually, that's actually true.
I can't do lateness. No, there was one. Actually, no, there was one where I had to start the show at 6, not at traditional 5:30. So I had everything set up, and I logged off from work, and I ran from the lounge room to the lounge room, and just threw a wig on and got into it. So I was maybe a couple of minutes late on that one, but yeah, just get on with it, really.
Can I ask a question?
Were you doing it in drag? Oh, sorry, you go, Dan. You know, like
my question is very quick. How do you manage not to be late all the time? Because I manage to be late all the time.
It was something that my mum was always running late. Like when we were a teenager and like we were going out to friends and families, always running late. Like an hour and a half, 2 hours late. It was, and so it just became traumatized. Where I'm like, oh no, like I just have to be on time. So if I know I have to do something at a certain time that's, you know, like a big event, like, you know, going online or getting to a gig on time or something like that, I just reverse engineer my day back from that. Yeah.
I can plan it and write it down, but it does not happen. Like, I'm the queen of being late. Built a career on it.
Look, it's honestly an illness, and it's exacerbated so much more when air travel is concerned. Like, I'm that bitch that will get to the airport hours early.
What do you do? Are you like
3 hours early for a domestic flight? Like, stupid.
That's okay if you've got lounge access and you're enjoying the buffet, which apparently is going to be no more.
Right. Yes. Oh, that's a sad day. I do like a buffet.
So tell us, Lisa, you ran the amazing concept, which we're going to talk offline, of the drag queens paying bills.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I did. That was cool. Everyone just kind of was losing work and venues and everything. Like, it was just left, right, and center. And I was still lucky enough to have my corporate job, and so I hadn't lost the major bulk of my income. And that just started out like, oh, you know, if you're a wig stylist, I'll order some wigs off you, or if you can make a costume, I'll do all that. And then I thought, well, bugger that, I'll just expand that out into bills so people can, you know, still have access to internet or electricity or food or anything like that. And then it just kind of expanded and blew up from there. So now everyone's kind of getting a part of it, which is wonderful. It's great. Saves me doing it.
Saves me. And no, good.
I got time for that.
We'll talk about it off air.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this story. I cannot wait.
I can't wait to hear that story either. Hey, so Lisa, tell us what's happening now. Instead of going 5 days a week, you're doing one day, one night?
Yes, yeah. I've scaled it right back. I've changed the format because the whole idea was drinking wigs was supposed to be like a bit of a knockoff drinks. So people that were working from home could kind of get together and have a bit of a chat. And I couldn't quite figure out how to get it all right. So it basically just turned into me filibustering for 30 to 40 minutes each night. So it wasn't quite as interactive as I had hoped, and it got to the point where I was exhausted doing it. And I just felt like the show was kind of spinning its wheels. So I thought, no, it's time to pull back, and I'm just going to do one show a week now and do it for an hour, but have people like in this format where you can jump in, have a drink, tell us about your day, talk shit, wear something silly on your head. I'll boot them, bring in the next person. Yeah.
Okay. And where will we find you?
Facebook, 5:30 tonight.
Oh, fantastic.
Yay. So follow me on Facebook, and there'll be links for you to join and come and have a kooky. But you've got to wear something silly on your head.
Oh, is my head silly enough as it is?
Your head is perfection.
$20 in the post for you. I can wear Penny's bracelet on my head.
Oh, I just bought another one of those the other day, and every time I did a show, it flew off my arm. I was like, thanks. I remember why I didn't need this.
Why I don't buy these anymore? Yeah.
Oh, thank you for joining us, Lisa. We'll see you today at 5:30.
5:30, that's right. Australian Eastern Standard Time.
We'll see you at 5:30 on Leasa Mann's Facebook page. We love you, Lisa.
Love you too. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, Lisa's just been such a great advocate for the Melbourne drag community, the Australian gay community throughout this whole pandemic.
She's a good egg, isn't she, our Lisa?
She is. She is. And of course, we share a mother. We share a mother through Penny Clifford.
Oh, what a beautiful relation.
Yes. Yes,
Now,
it is.
I've got one question for you before we chat to Kyle. It's in regards to the movies.
Yeah.
Have you ever snuck anything in or done anything untoward in a movie before?
Yeah, totally.
And what was it? Because I know the answer is yes.
It was year 8. Cocktail had just been released with Tom Cruise, and me and Renee. It's not Renee Laylaw, but it's another Renee. We snuck in and we sat on the floor in the front row with a 6-pack of West Coast coolers.
Sweet, dry, or draft. I remember those.
I remember which ones are sweet, but yeah, with it's coolers. What about you? What have you done naughty in the cinema?
I have, when we were in high school, I don't know if you remember, they used to do movie marathons where you'd watch 4 movies overnight. Yeah, so we used to do that all the time, but we didn't do anything naughty. When I was in London, I went to see Tomb Raider, and I had a little bit of energy that made me very excited in pill form while we were watching the movie.
So Sudafed.
A Sudafed, yes, correct. About half an hour into the movie, she's driving through the forest and the music's going. Dun, 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 dun. I'm sitting there like this going, woohoo! This movie's amazing. I have no idea what happened for the rest of the movie. I just remember rolling around in my chair.
You're good to do that in a
I never did that again.
You're
sorry, darling.
In a stationary position, because like my attention is like 0, as you would know, from the get-go, and then to do it in a movie with enhancement.
Oh my God. My friend and I were just sitting there, sweat pouring off us, sucking on these giant cups of Coke.
Chopper chops.
Like this. Don't ask me what happens in that movie. All I know is she drives through a forest and there's really good music.
And she looked good and she had big lips.
Yeah, she did. Oh, my screen keeps flickering.
Dan's having a couple of issues with this camera, which is why we're swapping on and off. But speaking of looking good and having big lips, not that he has got big lips, but have you got my guest there?
I do. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome our second guest for today's lunchtime lockdown, the one and only Kyle Olsen. How are you, Kyle?
Hey, boy.
Hello, Kyle.
How are you?
You're really good. I love that background. It's very 70s.
It's a Mondrian.
Oh,
And
okay.
I love
An
it.
original Pete Mondrian that I painted myself.
Well, guys, I'll leave you to it. I'm going to check the comments for questions and I'll come back to you soon.
Bye, Dan.
Hey, for those of you who don't know Kyle, how are you? It's been, I think the
I'm
last time we saw each other was on a bus doing tours pre-Mardi Gras.
It was
Wasn't
indeed.
that your dirty dog?
We gave the Americans a time of their life, showing them the highlights of Sydney. Well, we showed them where they could drink in Sydney.
Well, I mean, we did. It's funny because I went down the other day to Bondi, and Lezo Beck was there, and the club we were in was one of the hotspots of COVID, and that is to be demolished now. Not because of that, but because that was a COVID hotspot. Because there was a lot of backpackers there. Is it the bucket? I think it was a bucket list.
The bucket list, yeah.
Yeah, so that is now, the whole area is being demolished. It's all shut down. It's weird times because it feels like Mardi Gras was like 5 years ago.
Look, we are so lucky we got Mardi Gras in before all the restrictions came in place. I think next year we may be seeing a little slightly scaled back version of it, but who knows?
Well, I mean, we were lucky we got Mardi Gras through. Those people that waited 18 hours in the queue to get into the Horden, I mean, they weren't so lucky, but we were lucky.
We were.
So, Kyle, to ask, so initially you were a tour guide overseas.
Correct. For 22 years, I've been taking people on holidays around the world. I guess Europe is my speciality, but I also work here in our beautiful country.
And I've been lucky to do a couple of tours with you in Europe, where you were actually, you're incredibly knowledgeable. It sometimes shocks me, but you're incredibly knowledgeable in any of the ports we go to. So you brought your company back into Australia and you started doing Australian tours.
That's right. Yes, absolutely.
And so we did a couple of Mardi Gras tours, and you were you just started doing overseas tours. So we did Amsterdam last year.
We did the Rhine, actually. We started in Amsterdam. I'm surprised you remember, Dan.
I don't.
Yeah,
I'm just reading my itinerary going, oh, yeah, I was there.
We took 115 queens down the Rhine River from Amsterdam Pride to Frankfurt, and then we flew up to Berlin for a little bit of a Berlin experience, shall we say.
A Berlin backdoor experience.
Yeah, and this year we were planning on doing Croatia with the Gay Armada, a nice little flotilla of super yachts, but of course that's all been put on hold for the time being.
So you postponed that tour, and you were sold out. You were sold out, or you were close to selling out?
We were getting pretty close to selling out, but yeah, not cancelled. We have postponed it till 2021.
Okay, cool. Which, in theory, that looks 2021. I mean, there's so many conflicting stories going around. 2021 looks like when we'll start to travel again. I know there was like 2023 is when air travel was starting, and then when you actually read the article, it's like 2023 is when they expect air travel to be back to normal. Like, obviously, exactly. Daily Mail. Obviously, Daily Mail.
Are you getting a fact from the Daily Mail?
No, I read that and I was like, oh God, because that was, I'd like to start flying again soon. There's only so long I can stay at home and consume countless amounts of Vino Mofo. But so you've now stopped looking at international destinations for gay and leso travel, and you're looking at Australia and New Zealand. So you've got an important announcement.
Yes, like a good Minogue, we've reinvented ourselves, and we're focusing on the beauties that we have in our own country. People travel from all over the world to come down to Australia because we do incredible places to see. So now it's time for us to go and not only explore our own country, but also support our local businesses that we have as well. Yeah, so the good thing about where we are being an island, we're isolated, we're going to get this virus under control, as well with New Zealand as well. So we're going to be creating a little bubble. So we are going to be taking people to the South Island of New Zealand. That is going to be in late November, early December. But also we're going to be going down to Tasmania for a little winter warmer, where we're going to be doing a food, wine and whiskey tour. So if you like your food, you like your wine, you like your whiskey, Hermes Holidays, come and join us.
I find drinking a dark spirit kind of hard, but I'll sacrifice it. Are you calling your New Zealand experience the Jacinta Hard-On tour?
Do you know what I was going to say? Can we ask the people who are watching to come up with some names for us, because we need a name for the South Island tour and we need a name for the Tassie tour. I don't know. It's the bottom island. The bottom. I don't know. Is it the top island?
Oh, it's definitely the inside tour of your map of Tasmania. I mean, that's what your tour is. Camera's terrible. I'm so chinny.
But yeah, that's what we have coming up. And we may also be having a little bit of a look at Hamilton Island and cruising the Whitsundays as well. So guys, don't think that travel is over. There's so much to see in our own country and of course our little neighbour of New Zealand. And if you're looking for somewhere, have a little look at us, Hermes Holidays.
And so where can we find you? So there'll be a link on our Facebook page, but hermesholidays.com.au.
Yeah, hermesholidays.com. hermes-holidays.com.au. Like us on Facebook because that's where we make all of our announcements, and Instagram, which is Hermes Holidays.
Cool. All right. Well, this is tagging our link. Kyle, thank you for joining us today. I know we've taken you out.
Thank you.
You've been doing other filming as well. You were filming on Wednesday. We're allowed to talk about what that was. It was Secret Ladies Business.
It's not secret ladies business. I'm doing national webinars for a wonderful company called OPAN. We're getting relevant information out to older people and people who are vulnerable to COVID-19 to best assist them. So that's OPAN.com.
So people like me and Dan.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you on either the Tasmania, the inside tour, the
Mapatazzi. We'll show you our Mapatazzi.
Exactly.
Before you go, Kyle.
Yeah. Hi, Dan.
I've got one question from the audience. Wayne asks, where can I go on holiday again? Signed anonymous.
You can shout that answer out to him.
Wayne, come on. We're going to the pub. Isabella's ready to go. We're going down to the pub
now. Isabella, so cute. We love you, Kyle. Thank you for coming on. We can't wait to tour with you again very, very soon.
And we'll see each other soon as well.
See you soon. Bye, lovely.
Bye.
That's heartening, isn't it? That we can travel New Zealand, Tasmania, around the country. Those islands sound good. I'll go to the islands.
The Cook Islands.
Oh, what do you do there?
Was it Cook Islands?
Actually,
no, Whitsundays.
The Whitsundays.
My comprehension skills are. I'm just worried about my neck and this hand.
Have you ever been to Whitsundays?
No.
Didn't something? Oh, I went. Oh God, my camera is not behaving today. I went to the Whitsundays. Oh gosh, a long time ago when I was a teeny tiny little kid. That's the end of that story.
Oh, okay. So it was fun. Let me knock off my Trajan tops because I know we have a very special guest waiting to chat. So my Trajan.
All right, let me see if I can get this going. Let's have a look here. Okay, here we go. Chrome. First one. Is that working?
So Trajan tops, of course, comes from the Trajan in Isolation page, and this is a comment about Britta from Drag Race as the fact she probably should have paid George Lopez. Yeah, I mean, she probably should have played anyone but herself, that New York award-winning drag queen. That was a little post about Kyle's Hermes Holidays, because I was like, where does the name come from? And then we looked through and we realized that Hermes is like the god of pretty much everything apart from folding your knicker drawer right. I should have maybe asked Kyle that, but he's gone, so we'll ask another day.
Well, we've got 4 more to go.
Well, thank God. The delay is terrible today. All right. So I don't know if you've been sucked into, and for those people who have, hey, this is not a judgment, but there's like nominate an album, nominate your top 10 albums, nominate your top 10 travel. And this is just a post saying I've been nominated to nominate everyone else. Just quit nominating anything, which is gay. I mean, hey, people use Facebook to get through the way you can. If you've got to get through it, do it. But keep it interesting, please. Quit your nominations. This is heaven. So there is a museum, and that's far too small for me to read, but a museum that has posted pictures of some of their famous artworks and sculptures and then asked people at home to recreate them. And the recreations are heaven. It's sort of families getting involved, not in that kind of Tasmanian way, but there's like families getting involved, and it's very entertaining. None of them trying to look like it. This is just basically a bitch to say, you know, Taylor Swift just gets about writing dirty songs about her exes, whereas Stevie Nicks makes them play in the band while she sings vile crap about them to their face, which is, I love a good Stevie Nicks. And a last one. Terrible, terrible. But now I got some inside information. There was a big secret guest that was not released about this year's Broken Heel, and unfortunately, all on hold until next year. So, Broken Heel, for those of you who don't know, is a festival. It's Broken Heel. It's sort of based on the scene from Priscilla when they get off the bus. And drag queens go out. It's become a huge festival. Filmer Box is the festival director, and unfortunately, they've had to put it on hold. Have you played at Broken Hill Festival yet?
No, I haven't. We were actually considering going this year, but we were too slow to book accommodation, so they only had tents left.
Cool. Well, after the promo we just gave them, we'll probably both be working there next year. All right, Dan, that's fair. I'm not working there. I get too boozy. They won't have me. I'm going to leave you with our favourite guest of the week, and I'm going to go check the comments and just listen to the commentary.
All right. Well, thank you, Penny. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome direct from Hollywood, the one, the only, Perry Meek. Oh, why is his screen black? Hang on, let me take him out and pop him back in again. Is that working? It's not working, is it? Oh, Perry, I'm going to have to get you to dial back in again, darling, because you don't seem to be there. All right, let's just. Technology's not our friend today, Penny. Hi, Penny.
Oh, hi.
Technology's not our friend today. I wasn't able to dial Perry in, so hopefully he can dial back. Wait a minute, here he is. Spoke too soon. And here he is.
For difficulty.
Oh, there's that wallpaper. There's that wallpaper. I'll be back.
All right, see you soon, Penny. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Perry Meek, direct from Hollywood. How are you?
Good, love. How are you?
Oh, pretty gay. Pretty gay.
I got a tagline for the tour. Get tongued in Tassie. Come and get tongued in Tassie.
That's actually quite good.
Yeah, it'll sell out in a second. You're welcome.
Oh, I can barely hear you, darling. Can you
hear me now?
get a bit closer to the camera or something?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you'll have to project.
Okay. Oh, I have to speak up.
Yeah, speak up for me. Now, first things first, Ellen Gate. What's the latest?
Oh.
Ellen.
Well, everybody now she's getting upset. Everyone's turning on her.
So for a bit of backstory, all these stories have come out about Ellen being mean from co-workers and people that have served her in restaurants, and she's getting upset about it, right?
Well, what do you fucking expect, love? You can't see it all. Again, it's the internet. It's all going to come out today. It's all going to come out now. You can't behave like that and get away with it anymore.
No, exactly. And she's been doing it for years, right?
For years. But again, people weren't people weren't comparing stories before. Now it's like what about the latest one today, Fran Drescher, trying to blame 5G on COVID on 5G? It's like, fuck, love. I mean, come on, lovey. I mean,
I thought 5G was set to turn everyone gay, not cancer. I thought.
They blame it for everything over here.
Have you even got 5G over there yet? I don't know if we've got it.
I thought of another thing too. I have some. Certain places, like not everywhere.
Okay.
I think if you used to go to a certain hotel or something when you could go to them, when you could travel, there was certain places. It's not everywhere. It's not like Korea.
No. Now tell me, who's on Perry's hit list this week?
Well, it was Fran Drescher. when she came out and blamed fucking 5G, COVID on 5G. It's like, it's literally getting. Oh, and then the other thing is I was listening to you before about the flying, about the flying. So masks are mandatory here now. So whenever you leave the house, you have to wear a mask.
Oh, okay.
And they've made it with flying too. When flying starts back up again, American and all of the big ones, you have to wear a mask on board. unless you have a whatever. And they interviewed a guy the other day and they went, well, how are you going to police this? And they said, well, people aren't going to be able to be let on board without a mask. And the reporter kind of went, oh, okay. And he goes, what about when they get on board and they take it off and they refuse to put it back on and they cause a scene? And the guy just kind of went, oh, like you could see his face like, fuck. And went, well, we're going to police it. And I thought, yeah, good luck with that. It's going to be like fucking Jumanji on those flights. Because you've got those, those idiots with 1 2 from North Carolina. They go, I don't want to wear a mask. And so I'm thinking, we're all fucked. Humanity's fucked. It really is.
I've been on a few domestic flights in America, and I've done like a normal airline, like a Virgin. Is it Virgin America? One of those kind of airlines. That was fine. Then I took a couple of budget flights, and so many people bring their animals on board with them, and not just cats and dogs, like weird animals.
No, because they call them the emotional support animals. They just just write a fucking note. Yeah, they've got chickens and everything. It's like fucking the Hunger Games trying to get on those flights. I literally hate to travel now. I really do.
All the flights are still going, right?
Yeah, but there's like a lot of restrictions and yeah, they are, but not a lot of people are traveling.
Okay.
So you get a bargain holiday for $2 and a scratchy lottery ticket. Get your ass off to Hawaii. I mean, you might get COVID and drop dead from it, but hey, it's $2.
Well, so be it.
What are you complaining about? Hey, listen, I heard you talking before about these guests that have, declined. Some politely, some not so politely. I got a list for you. Why not try and get one of the Real Housewives of Melbourne? Those bitches will come to a fucking opening of a coach. Tina Liana will be right there, honey. Tell her it's, free Maybelline.
Do you know what? We'll try.
I think try one of the Real Housewives. Out of the 5 or 6 of them, whatever, one of them's got to say yes. And then the other one is Tina Arena. What about Tina Arena? She's a nice girl.
Well, I've asked her a couple of times on Instagram, and she hasn't had the time to get back to me. So, okay, or her intern, whoever runs her Insta, hasn't gotten back to me.
Oh, okay. Because I messaged her years and years and years ago about I really wanted to work with her, and she was very polite and she wrote me a beautiful message, she wasn't, of course she wasn't here, she was, touring in and out. And then what about the other one is Tim Campbell and Anthony Kalia? Have you seen their Facebook?
Yeah, well, it's funny you mention that. So I've done some work with Tim in the past, and Penny and I were talking about this last night. So we're going to try and have a chat to them next week.
Yes, because they've been doing these recreations of all of the films.
Yes, and the Real Housewives as well.
And the Real Housewives, yeah. Speaking of, honey, what a mess this season is. Okay, first of all, I need Ritalin to keep up because I can't figure out, they keep jumping around with all of these plots.
I know.
Trying to get drama for drama's sake.
Well, should we pull Penny back in and do a Real Housewives recap?
From Sutton.
Sutton dressed as Nutton.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I've not watched this week. I don't know.
Honey,
I've watched it 10 times.
Your favorite, is on a roll in Sutton. Oh, you love this week, honey. But I mean, she's just, again, she's sort of you can tell that she's doing things just to get a reaction and stir drama.
Totally. Stand down, Sutton. You're not in a position to tell people you've been on 3 episodes, bitch.
And she really does it this week. And they really go for it. Dorit really comes for her. And then the other one is that poor Garcelle. She won't be asked back.
Well,
I mean, honey, the highlight of her episode this week was building a cake out of donuts.
And then the husband eating one.
True story. And it was just oh, honey, you're boring as a fucking, colonoscopy.
Uh-huh. And then she wasn't at the group meal either.
No, she wasn't. I get the feeling, I mean, I don't know, but I get the feeling that she doesn't want a part of these shenanigans of, all of this hysteria.
But then as Brandy accidentally admitted, if you don't go to the group events, you don't get paid.
So
And I think
That's
after
a
that
new
one
rule.
from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, she needs as much cash as she could get. Was that her show?
Well, that's
Is that what she was on?
Was she?
Oh, I don't know where she's from.
I love that all three of us are like, we've got no idea who she is.
But no, but you could totally tell last night when, well, you haven't seen it yet, but there was one thing where Kyle has the big, you saw last week's.
Oh, no, we have seen this week. We get it an hour and a half after you, and I've got notes.
Okay, so what about Kyle had the meltdown, but then the next minute she was at Erica Jane's, but you know, she came to the Erica Jane thing. And I thought to myself, as she walked through the door, I thought, oh, she's only doing this for the money, like to get paid. Obviously, you know, if she didn't show up at this party, she wasn't going to get paid.
Well, I don't know with Kyle. I mean, Kyle has got a lot going on. I mean, she's making a movie. What about when Denise goes, I do 10 episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful, and then I come and cook for my kids?
I didn't even know she was on Bold and the Beautiful. Well, I don't watch Bold and the Beautiful, but
No one does.
You know,
and 10 episodes in a week?
Good luck with that, you know.
Okay, I want to raise some of my favorite points from this Instagram. Dorit designing a room Booper de Beppo. I mean, like that's designing the kids' room at Sizzler.
Or one of the ball pit, you know, the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Hut. You know that thing where the kids have all the balls.
What a coup!
People would not know Booper de Beppo. So could you give us a little rundown, Perry, of what it is?
Booper de Beppo. Actually, I will say. They really do have good food. The food is incredible. The food is great. But next time you're in LA, we'll have to go because there's one at the Grove.
I think, is that the one where you get the huge? You can buy the 3 different sizes bowls of pasta, and
yeah, literally like a serving is as big as your head. Like,
yeah. Oh,
last you for like 10 weeks.
Perry, no, while we're on Booper de Beppo. You bad?
No, but I love the food. I like that they do have good food, but I mean, it's a chain restaurant. You know, it's like going.
Do they need a Dorit themed room? Will it just be full of Boy George's old hats? That's what it would be.
Well, the other thing that nobody is addressing, I mean, they keep having all of these rumors about their money troubles. And, you know, she keeps going, oh, no, it's all rumors. But, you know, the headlines keep coming and coming and coming. You know, they're scammers, they're broke, they're blah, 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 allegedly. You know, so when is that going to be addressed properly?
Well, I love that in the conversation, the guy that owned the Booper de Beppo chain goes, oh, well, you've worked with Lisa Vanderpump, and you know what she's like, and they're like, on television. Like, that was like, hey.
Well, you know. Well, you know, because I've worked, you know, well, not with this mob, but, you know, they were in Gaga's video when GUI. Remember that one?
Yes, at Hearst Castle.
The Real Housewives were.
Yeah. I dressed Lisa and Kyle.
Sorry.
Oh my God, what was that like?
Well, it was before. It was right when the big drama with Brandy was on. You know, it was that finale. So it was that one. So she told Gaga that she wasn't going to do it if Brandy was in it. So Brandy wasn't in it. That's why Brandy wasn't in it. It was Kyle, Lisa, Hadid,
Adrian Malouf, the Malouf.
Yolanda,
yeah. Yolanda.
The witch. Remember the witch one? She was a witch, a real witch, a Wiccan.
Oh yes. And her house was really gothic.
Yeah. So it was her, and then I think Kyle was in it. No, maybe Kyle was in it. Anyway, so it was right. Literally, we were filming the day. I think they'd filmed the finale of that season, the 2 days before or the night before. So Lisa Vanderpump came in, and Kyle was in one room, and the first scene that they were in, it was only Kyle and Lisa, and then 2 days later there was another scene where they were all in it. So for the first day it was only Kyle and Lisa. So Kyle was in one room, Lisa was in the other. So I went in to dress Kyle, and I said, "Oh, you know, how's the show going?" And she goes, "Oh, we had the finale last night." It must have been like the day after or something. She goes, "We had the finale last night and they crucified me." She goes, "That one in that room, she's not even speaking to me." She goes, "It was terrible." And I was zipping her into the cat suit, and I was saying, "Oh, that's terrible. Tell me more. Here, try these yeah, that's awful." And she said, "Yeah." She goes, we're not even speaking." So yeah, they weren't even speaking really on set.
What about is it bad to deviate and then like, because now that we can't see Vanderhump on Beverly, then we watch her on Vanderhump Rules, and like it's you opening another fucking beer garden in West Hollywood, Queen.
Well, they've taken over half the boulevard, you know, and have you been? I don't know. Have you been to that Tom Tom restaurant yet?
Yeah,
it's just hideous. Like it's first of all, it's full of testosterone and fucking drunk girls with their shoes in their hand, you know, from Pomona. It's just awful. And a friend of mine was in and said, "Oh, just meet me here for happy hour." And I said, "Okay, this is the one and only time." The food tasted like the food and the drink were awful. I mean, I had these tacos and it was like eating ass. I mean, and not in the good way, eating ass. It was awful. They were just
so very oniony.
Oh, no, they were awful. It was just horrible. I mean, it's just they've just done it for the show, you know. But of course, all the straights are lined up on the street trying to get in there.
But I've got to be honest. I've been to all, like a dirty, you know, fan. I've been to all of them. I took Trevor Ashley to Villa Blanca, and
it's so fucking expensive. Like it's like $100 for a salad this big, wouldn't it?
Yeah, on a chipped RSL plate. And they ran out of the food that Trevor wanted, so they just chose for him without asking and put it down in front of him. He's like, "I don't like this." They're like, "That's all we've got left, and we're closing." That's true.
Well, that's dangerous. Telling Trevor Ashley she can't have food.
Well, Perry, you and I went to Pump in LA. Oh gosh, 5 years ago?
That's right, where that gentleman caller was hitting on you, and I just had to say, "Good night, kids. I gotta go."
How did that end up, Dan?
Well, Perry and I, we're normally talking like this, and the gentleman we were with was very Hollywood, and he kept saying things like, "Oh, we have to get you over here to DJ. Oh my God, you're so talented." And I was like, "Can we just have a normal conversation?"
Oh, I've just come from a rehearsal with Elton John, and I thought, let me pull out my resume, honey, and, you know, let's compare notes.
I know. So you deserted me, and then he took me to the Abbey.
Penny, remember, you know that cartoon? What is that cartoon? Where the Roadrunner and the thing where
Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah. That was literally what this man was doing. He looked at Dan like he was the last sausage roll at a fucking, you know, RSL hall. And I just
was like, weird.
Oh God, it was and I was just like, "Nice to see you, darling. Give me a call tomorrow."
I remember, Perry, one of my favorite times with you is we were at Mickey's and you were very sweet. And Yara Sophia was there. And you said, "If you want to work in Australia, she's the girl you got to be nice to." And it was like, I floated through. But I got that fucking bitch here 2 months later.
I love Yara.
So sweet.
Yeah. I mean, I can never understand what he's saying, and I need a Duolingo course, but I love it to death.
Okay, so sweet. There's two things I want to touch on of Real Housewives, and then, I mean, you know, we're over an hour, and who gives a rat's? We're entertaining. Firstly, my favorite was at the table. Yeah, totally. I managed to go and do a wee and make a Moscow Mule while you guys are talking. So,
everyone gets.
I'll have one.
My favorite. Okay, so on this, my favorite was when they accused Lisa Rinna of speaking shit, and she said, "Well, this is my reality, and it's okay." And the best. It's my reality.
Lisa is the biggest shit stirrer on that show.
Oh,
absolutely.
Colin Lapdog.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, because when 2 years ago when Gaga had her 30th or it must have been her 30th birthday.
40th.
She had it at the Oil of LA. She had it here at this private club, and Lisa Vanderpump was pissed that Lisa Rinna was there. And that was, again, when they were fighting. And Lisa Vanderpump was pissed that Lisa Rinna got there before and got all the press on the thing. But, of course, Lisa Rinna's a shit stirrer.
Good work, though. And also, my favorite is when they go, "Fuck, this season is really going to shit. Let's bring in an astrologer." That's
Listen, oh my God, that's what I meant to tell you last night. I'm like, oh my God, whenever they bring in these card readers or tarot readers, the thing is, if any of them had looked at any of them, Jersey, Atlanta, Orange County, New York, you would realize that it's suicide for your career. It's like literal suicide because they make them out to be the most stupid charlatan, which they are, you know.
But also, the producers have written, this is what I want you to say to this. It's like, you look like a dick. Remember? I know you're going to die.
I remember that. That was amazing. The dinner party from hell.
Okay, so we want to play a quick game. So I'm going to say the name of the housewife, and we're basically focusing on New York, which I know Dan's not a huge fan of. You watch New York, though, Perry, yeah?
I'm not.
Yeah, okay, well, I've got those bitches out. Well, you'll know these ones. So I'm going to say the name of a housewife. You're going to say the first word that comes into mind. So it'll go name, Perry, Dan, my response, new name. So first, now, I know you don't watch it, but Bethany Frankel.
Crazy.
Skinny Girl Margarita.
Well, she's funny that because like, just before I tuned in here.
It's one word, Perry.
She's on HSN. Oh, I know. We're going to go through. Now she's hawking skinny girl jeans. Yeah.
Girl. Okay.
Sorry.
Brandy Glanville. Perry.
Drunk.
Shit stirrer.
Cracker. I love her.
Love her. She's my favorite.
Lisa Vanderpump.
Conniving.
Calculating.
Cunt.
Oh.
She's my least favorite housewife ever. Okay, do you know? Would you know Dorinda from New York?
No, never
Okay.
met her. But
Yeah,
here's another one. Here's another one, mate.
Sutton.
Oh, thirsty.
Nuttin.
Martin dressed up as lamb.
Old. Gina
Sutton
Liano.
dressed as Nuttin.
Gina Liano.
Drag queen.
Heaven.
Barrister. Imagine her representing you in court. I never said cunt. He's a fucking country. Yeah. Like, gay.
If you get Anthony Kalia on next week, he's got a really good. Oh, and Tim, they've got a really good Gina Liano story because she was over their house and I guess left a trail of fake tanner and sequins in the bathroom.
Sounds like my bathroom on a Sunday morning.
Oh, but you're not a biological woman.
How dare you use a biological word? I find that offensive. I'm triggered by it. Perry, we're triggered by you. We want to see you next Friday.
Oh. Well, what is it? Is it Fisting Fridays next Friday?
I think so.
Fridays.
Let's get into
Freedom
it.
Friday this week. Who knows what next Friday will bring?
It'll be lockdown wave number 3 again after everybody catches COVID this weekend.
Oh. Well, what did you hear about, just before I go, did you hear about the Queen in Korea that went out to the gay bar and they infected like 150 people and then they were trying to track them?
Yeah, but that has, well, yes, but then they've also said that Korea is, or South Korea, I never know whether it's South or North, are incredibly homophobic, so that potentially that's a gay slur that they're trying to like spin onto the fags so they can make everyone hate them again.
That's what I heard as well. Because they named and shamed him in the papers and in all the press. And they're like, this guy is a super spreader.
You can lose your job for being a limp-wristed homosexual flouncer.
Oh,
So
That's how I got my job.
You know, it's all good fun till you go out for a bit of bukkake, you know, and the next thing you're splashed all over the papers. Over somebody.
Oldest story in the world.
Which is Korean for coffee. It's cream with a lot of cream. See you next Friday, Perry.
We love you. Bye, Perry.
Bye.
Oh, darling, I've got 2 more, what should we say, best supporting roles for Real
Let me put my
Housewives.
camera up. My neck is so bad today. Yes, girl.
So, first nomination for best supporting role of today's or yesterday's episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Dorit's stupid 3-meter long fucking ponytail. Ridiculous. Oh, we've lost Penny.
Sorry, I got a phone
know.
call. I mean, fuck off, Dorit.
And I love how everyone.
Don't ruin
No,
this phone call.
We've still got you. We've still got you. Can you hear me?
I think I lost you.
All right, hang on. I'll boot you out and
Dan,
come
are
on
you
back
back?
in. Oh, well, Penny will be on her way back soon. I don't know if you guys have been watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but Dorit literally has a ponytail that's somehow plaited with some sort of material or maybe sailor's rope, and it literally reaches down to the floor and drags along the floor like Rapunzel. Disgusting. And every time someone notices it, she goes, this giant thing that's weighing down my head. Yes, that, darling. Well, guys, I don't think Penny's coming back. We'll give him another few seconds. Any final questions before? Oh, here she is.
God, that one
Hi,
takes
darling.
forever, Yeah, totally. What you said was absolutely right. That ponytail, piss off. I had to have 4 axles to be able to wear it. Maybe don't fucking wear it.
Uh-huh. And you know how whenever somebody notices it, she's like, oh, this. Yes, that giant fucking thing hanging off the back of your head.
And again, I think this was episode 5. We've only had one Boy George reference.
That's true. Sorry, George.
George. And also, no disrespect, but could we just have an update on Jagger? Like, where are we in conversation stance?
I know. Has he been bitten by any dogs lately? And I've got one more best supporting role.
Mm-hmm.
Sutton's little toe in those fucking plastic heels that she had on. What the hell was that? It was like this in those plastic shoes.
I mean, I have that issue where we're trying to squeeze a size 14 into a size 13 because a lot of stuff don't get made in my size. But Sutton, but only wears couture. I
don't think those stripper heels were couture. They look dreadful.
Oh, do you know what? They are those dirty black, and I love that the show's the longest show in the world. We just don't really care. It's talking rubbish. It's like me and Dan phone call. She's with those black and silver, ugly, fucking like thick heeled shit. Is that what we're talking about?
Uh-huh. With the plastic on the front and all her toes bunched up in the side. Jammed
Only
in.
people wear plastic shoes are strippers or drag queens because the shoes don't come in your own size. Like, and where's Brandy?
I know Brandy's got to pop up soon. I hope so.
Well, they brought her out like it was going to be like the season feature. I want her back. I want her back as a regular.
Uh-huh.
We did actually message Brandy again and say, would you like to come back? And she was like, man, I'm not sure I can.
Brandy's not allowed to come on our show anymore.
She gets too
revealing too much.
That's too much. Dan, speaking of getting loose, over the weekend, if you want to get loose, we are excited to say that Bellocchio's has reopened. Colin is cooking down at Bellocchio's. And they're now at Universal, which is exciting. And also, Chelsea sent me a message to say that House of Priscilla, can you believe it turns 21 this year?
21? Holy moly.
21. So they're doing a 21% off of everything sale, and they've got 21 gift packs to give away. And she told me it's not all crap. So if you buy, every time you buy something, you go in the drawer to win a House of Priscilla gift pack. There's 21 of them. And so start supporting our local businesses again.
And we've got a lot of people going live this weekend. We've got DJ Argonaut, who's doing an all Australian Divas set tonight on his Facebook page. Tomorrow we have Emma Royds and DJ Dolly Lama going live, I think between 6 and 9.
Her name is Emma Royds.
Emma Royds. It's Dale Napier, but that's his drag name.
It doesn't beat Fanning Dixon Cox, but Emma Royds is a pretty gay drag name.
It's pretty gay. Then tomorrow night, Ark's going live for the first time, and I think DJ James Tobin is going to be spinning live from the dance floor at Ark. So a lot to choose from this weekend.
Imagine how sticky that carpet would be walking up to the DJ box. I mean, it's not great on the best of nights, and now it's like I had some time to write. You'd be like, guys, if you enjoyed today's show, you can buy myself or Dan like a fucking car or a house. No, you can go on to coffee and buy us a bottle of wine. You can buy us a shandy. Dan, lovely to catch up with you.
Lovely to catch up with you too. I've just popped our little PayPal link in the comments.
Right.
It's appreciated. I know everyone has PayPal fatigue now. If you can't do it, it's absolutely no problem. If you can, it is so appreciated. We love doing this. We could talk for 5 hours, actually.
We don't need to eat. We don't need to eat.
I know.
We need to drink. By the way, oh my God, I have got more chins than a Chinese COVID testing waiting list at the moment. I have Chin City Sue.
Well, on that note, should we sign off? Any last thoughts or feelings?
Thoughts, feelings, contributions, feedback. I'm excited to see you on Sunday for RuPaul's. I mean, this is getting to the pointy end of the fag race. I'll see you tonight for Makeup 7, whenever I get on there. Shows later. There is great new stuff on this weekend, so check it out. See what amazing new creative, individual and unique ideas people are coming up with to project across our entertainment whilst we're in our own homes this weekend.
I can't wait. It's a veritable smorgasbord.
Isn't it? So who's that of online entertainment? I can't wait to explore it.
All right. Well, I love you, Penny. Thank you guys for tuning in. We've had a ball today. It's actually been really, really fun. It always
1 hour and 14 minutes. We hope you've stuck with us too.
Oh, you guys always cheer us up. We'll see you next time. Oh, goodness me.
I'll just finish my Moscow Mule.
I'll just shuffle my non-existent papers.